YouTube channel. This is my very first video, so happy to have you here. My name is Brittany. Like I said, this is my first ever YouTube video, at least that I know of, that exists out there. If there's another one floating around, someone please let me know. But I'm creating this channel to share vlogs, travel content, and just what I like to call life simple luxuries, which I like to indulge in every day. But today I just wanted to start with kind of like a get to know you type of video, because obviously you want to know who I am if you're going to be watching my channel, which I hope that you are. But instead of just like a Q&A like type of generic thing, which no disrespect or hate to anyone that does that, since we're here at the end of the year, start of a new year, I thought maybe sharing some things that I'm leaving in 2022, what I'm bringing in 2023 would be just kind of a good way to get to know who I am, maybe who I'm trying to become in some ways. That sounds very deep and philosophical, which I'm not, but that's who I am. So anyway, let's jump right into it. 2022 has come and gone, which sounds so sick to say out loud. I can't believe it. Like 2020, I'm sure everyone feels the same way. Since 2020, life has been a blur. And I do feel like though in the last half of 2022 versus especially 2021, in the beginning of 2022, I felt like I was like maybe coming back to life a little bit, like maybe becoming a little bit more of the person that I was pre-pandemic, like 2019. Not 100%. And there's a lot of things I don't need to like kind of go back to. But 2021 was a tough time. I feel like mentally, physically, for like a lot of people. And 2022, I feel like it was like, okay, I'm hitting a new stride. I'm back. I got it, I think. So we'll see what 2023 brings. So one thing that I want to leave behind in 2022, and this is a big one for me. I've already kind of started it, but overconsumption. I have been, especially again during the pandemic, such a sucker for overconsumption, and it's just like it's not good for me, it's not good for my bank account, it's not good for the environment, like capitalism, like all of those things. And was like willfully, almost ignorantly, not ignorantly, just like blissfully contributing to overconsumption, especially when I had nothing to do. So I just want to stop like buying things that, like, everything I buy, I want it to serve a purpose. So one thing I kind of started last year, and I'm really going to try to move more into this in 2023, is I'm not buying clothes or an outfit for a specific event, a wedding or whatever. Like, I more than likely already have something that I could just repurpose and wear with a different accessory, different shoes, something like that. Or I've always been a big fan of Rent the Runway. I could rent or borrow something. Like, I don't need to buy another dress, another swimsuit for a vacation. Like, I have those unless something truly doesn't fit me or it's broken or like whatever, something like that. But I'm not gonna just buy things for the sake of it. So that's kind of one example. And another example, I want to stop just making purchases for the sake of making them, which I've stopped doing that a lot in the last half of 2022. Like, I canceled my Amazon Prime subscription, which anyone that knew me pre-pandemic, or even especially during the pandemic, I was getting like multiple Amazon orders a day, or a week I should say, because I would see something and be like, oh, I need to get this, it's on Prime so it's free, oh, I can get it today, I can get it tomorrow. And then like Jeff Bezos and like Amazon as a company, I just like couldn't stand by them anymore. But then I also was like, no, I'm spending too much money for literally no reason. So I noticed, since I canceled my Amazon Prime subscription, like I have been making those purchases all the time. Because even my mom was like, oh, if you cancel Amazon, where are you gonna buy stuff? I'm like, I didn't need the stuff I was buying. So, or it's like we'll have to think twice about like, oh, do I really want to go to this other store to try to find it? And most of the time I don't actually need whatever that item was. Or it's like, oh, I have a version of it in my closet, in my drawer, like whatever it was. Or I was just buying it because someone shared it and I thought it was cool. So I will say, since I stopped my Amazon subscription, my Prime subscription, which I think was in May or June, because it's basically like when I went to renew and the price went up and I was like, oh, I'm not renewing this. I have saved a lot of money. So that's like one big thing I'm gonna keep doing in 2023 as well. And I also just wanna, like, in terms of like beauty and product and just like buying things and even food, I want to be really just intentional, I guess is the word. Like, I only wanna buy like a new makeup product or a new skincare product or whatever it is to restock something that I'm out of. Or really, that's it. Like, obviously, like my favorites and my like things that I'm gonna use all the time, I'll just rebuy them. But even if there's like a new product from a brand that I love, if I already have a version of whatever that serum or hair product or whatever it is, I want to use all of what I have and then buy the new one. I guess unless it's like limited edition and I'll only be able to get it during that time period. But I just have a habit of suddenly I have 3 vitamin C serums. I've got 4 curl creams. Like I don't need all of those things. I just need to like focus on the one, finish that, and they're all like half empty. So it's like I need to finish one before I move on to the next one. And I'm looking at my notes because I have the memory of like a peanut. I don't know if that's even an analogy, so I knew I wouldn't remember any of this. But oh, food, that's a big one I want to focus on too, is actually like using the food that's in my fridge instead of just aimlessly grocery. I don't go to the grocery store. First of all, I do grocery delivery. Well, that's like been for a few years, but like sometimes I'll reorder something and I didn't really need it, or I'll like order all this food to make dinners and I either won't cook it, or it's like I already have food in my freezer that I could have just made a meal with. So actually the other day I cleaned out my fridge, my freezer, reorganized my freezer so I could actually see everything that was in there, and now I'm just like challenging myself to cook with the food that I have before I A, get takeout, because I have to stop that, or B, do like a fridge restock. Okay, and the last bit in regards to overconsumption is, in the end, this is a personal thing. I want to, and I haven't done this a ton, but I've done it here and there, but I really want to not buy a dupe. Like if someone's like, dupes are getting out of control first of all, but if someone's like, here's a Chanel dupe from DHgate or whatever, and it's like, I don't need that. Like if I can't afford to buy the regular price one or secondhand, then I don't need to, like, why would I buy a cheap version of it from somewhere random online when like the reason that you buy those brands, those like designer or luxury brands, is for the quality. So why would I buy a cheaper version of that? So I've fallen into that trap a few times because something's like cute and I'm like, oh, I love that. Look, I don't want to spend $500 on it though. Here's like, I'll get it for 30. But like, why would I do that? Like, that just doesn't make any sense. So, and if I'm not gonna invest the money into it to really use it, then I don't need to buy it. So that's my last bit on overconsumption. Like I said, that is a big one for me, something I really want to focus on. Just like to do, I'm only one person, but to do what I can for just like the planet, the people, everything, and also just like myself too. So to cut down on overconsumption. Another thing that I want to leave behind in 2022 is making excuses for not working out. Really, that's it. Making excuses for not working out. What I want to take into 2023 is actually getting back into a better, just generally health and wellness routine, like a better plan of working out, a better plan for eating right. I'm sure a lot of people, or maybe I'm speaking for myself, but I've gained a decent amount of weight during the pandemic. I think in like 2 years, I've gained about 35 pounds, which for me is a lot of weight in that's a short period of time, I guess. But I was like really at my healthiest, I feel like shortly before the pandemic started. I had just run a marathon at the end of 2019. I was in a good workout routine. My body was like very healthy. I wasn't skinny by any means, but I was very strong. And I felt really good about I was like, okay, here we go. But then that all kind of plummeted, and I would say the end of 2020 is when I really fell off the train of working out, because I was keeping up with it for a while, and then I just kind of the rails fell off. Like I said, 2021 was a tough time, I feel like mentally for me. So I feel like, or 2021, I'm sorry. 2021 was a rough time, I feel like mentally for me, and I was just like not in a good, wasn't motivated or like in a good place. It was kind of like, the world is like a scary, terrible place. Why would I focus on working out? Like there's so many other things to do, but I do want to get back into a good workout routine. If I lose all of the weight that I gained, that's great, but that's not the kind of pressure I want to put on myself. At maybe like to lose 15 or 20 pounds. But what I really just want to focus on is getting into a good routine, feeling good about working out again, because now I try to start a workout routine and I set my goals too high. I try to set them for like where I was a couple of years ago, and then I can't meet that. A workout I try to do is too hard, and then I just get frustrated and don't do it. So I just want to, in general, work out. If that's just doing a light 20-minute Pilates 3 days a week, or I'm gonna go on walks every day with my dog as it is, but maybe going on one more walk a day by myself. That's a faster place because she's a very slow walker. But just anything that I can do to make myself stick to a good workout routine, I think is good for me, whatever that means. Like I literally have a Peloton sitting in my office that I haven't used in probably 6 or 8 months. So I really have no excuse for this, but I'm my own worst enemy. And I also want to get back into a really good eating routine, because I fell into like a deep trap again of just ordering takeout all the time. And then especially like the job that I had been working, I would be like working longer hours or late into the evening. So I would just order something because I would be like so mentally drained from working. So I want to just be better about meal planning at the like top of the week, and not even like a specific meal plan, just like these are some things I can like kind of prep to like make however I want throughout the week. Because I like if I like make on Monday, decide this is what I want to eat on Thursday, odds are by the time I get to Thursday I'm not gonna want that, and then I'm just gonna order McDonald's because I'm like, I don't want that food. So I need to just set myself up for success a little bit better. So I'm actually planning on doing is, and I think this is a series I'm gonna do on my channel, just like in general my health and wellness journey, but I'm gonna do I think a video about just like the reset that I'm gonna do at the beginning of the year. So I've done Whole30 a handful of times, and for me it actually, the very first time I did it, it was very successful. I mean, I think I did lose some weight, I don't even remember how much it was, but I was on medication for high blood pressure at the time, and my blood pressure, like, it was like plummeting low because I was still taking my meds, but I also was like, it just naturally got lower from what I was eating, so I was able to go off of that. I like did feel healthy and really energetic by the end of it. However, 30 days is a long time, and I don't think right now I'm in a good mental space to be able to commit to 30 days of doing that. I feel like I might get to like day 15 and then I would want something and eat it and then just throw it all out the window. So I think what I'm gonna do instead is do a whole 7. So for 7 days at the beginning of the month. So I'm gonna start the first business day of January. So January 3rd, I'm not starting on the actual like 1st. That's insane to me when people do that, but good for you. So I'm going to start on January 2nd, and I think I'll go through, I think the 9th or something like that, and could just do Whole30 for those days, and just to give myself a good reset, like get back into a groove of cooking. And I also have a friend coming into town like the end of that week, so I don't want to like be on Whole30 and like all these restrictions while she's here. So all that being said, I want to get back on a good health and wellness routine. I just don't want to restrict myself too much or set myself up to not succeed, because that is when things don't work out as well for me. So one way that I'm planning on making, like, I guess health and fitness or working out a goal that's attainable for me is kind of making it bite-sized. So in January, I'm going to start with focusing on food. So like I said, I'm going to do like a 7-day Whole30 and just get back into like a good food routine. Then February, I'm going to start with getting more into working out. Like in January, I'll probably work out a little bit here and there, but February, I want to get into like a good workout routine and build that up. And then March, I want to like be really strong in that routine, because hopefully I'm planning on running a half marathon in June, like the Chicago half marathon. Not hopefully, I'm going to run the Chicago half marathon. So in March, I would need to start training for that. So I would like to have like a decently good base, like I guess a fitness by March to be able to like get back into running, because I truly haven't run. Like the marathon that I ran is the last time I really ran. I guess I ran a 5K last year, but I'm also starting tennis lessons again in January, so that'll be like a little bit of a good workout too. I took tennis lessons for the first time last summer and I really loved it, so I'm going to do an indoor session in January. But I'm just going to try to make things bite-sized, so it's not overwhelming to try to like do all my fitness, all my workout or wellness routines like starting at once. Like it's kind of like, okay, let's build on this and like actually make it sustainable to carry on throughout the year. Being behind in 2022 is making excuses for working out and just like eating too much takeout. Taking into 2023 a positive outlook on being healthier, stronger, and getting back into cooking, because I do like to cook. Okay, another thing that I want to leave in 2022 is not having an evening routine. I've got my morning routine on lock. It sets me up for a really good day. I feel good when I start my day. I'm not doing anything insane in the morning. Like I'm not like waking up, going for a run, journaling, like whatever these people on TikTok that are doing at like 5 a.m. I'm not doing any of that. I just like wake up, make some coffee, like watch like a YouTube video or watch like a show, like catch up on a show from the night before, take my dog on a walk, make a breakfast, and then like get ready, do my skincare, makeup if I'm wearing makeup that day, put on an outfit. And like that's how I start my work day. And like for me, I think I really had to get into a good morning routine to make working from home work for me. So I've got the morning routine on lock. The evening routine, I have no sense of an evening routine at all. So I'm trying to kind of figure that out still. exactly how I want to do that. I think like one thing I might do is, I did this for a while when I first started working from home full time in the pandemic, is I would light a candle at the end of every workday just to help signal that like mentally the workday's over, let's move on. So instead of like having a glass of wine, like doing something like that as like a just like a, okay, that part of the day is over, now let's move on to this. I also think once I get into a habit of cooking, that might help me with having an evening routine too, because I really just like don't do anything in the evenings. If I'm not doing something like social, which is not all that often, I will just literally lay on the couch and like watch TV, or scroll on my phone for 2 hours, especially now that it gets dark so early because it's winter time. So I really want to get into a better evening routine. With that, what I really want to bring into 2023 is sticking to my evening skincare routine. So again, I got my morning skincare routine on lock. My evening one, I'm not as great about sticking to, and I feel like that's almost more important, especially as like I'm getting older, is like that's when a lot of the anti-aging like products, that's when I would put those on. So I'm just like not doing that, and I think it's mostly because I'm not wearing makeup very much, so I'm not removing makeup or anything like that. So I still need to do the routine though. So yeah, I'm still working on exactly what my evening routine is going to be, but skincare routine at night is definitely going to be a part of it. Okay, something else I need to leave in 2023, it's been getting worse lately, is my increased screen time. I've got to cut it down. I don't know how it's getting so high, but it is. I mean, it's from TikTok pretty much, because I don't go on Facebook very much. I've been going on Instagram less and less, and I've just been like scrolling, and I need to stop. And I have timers on my phone that say like, okay, stop using your phone, but I ignore them. So I need to just be better about screen time in some regard. And I think one way, like this is something I want to bring into 2023. This is going to be a challenge, I think, but I see people talk about it a lot, and I'm going to try it, is not using my phone for the first hour of the day. Like when I wake up, I might start with like the first 20 minutes for like a week and then work my way up to like an hour. But I think that would be like good for me. And that's an easy way to cut out a chunk of screen time right at the beginning of the day, because I am very much someone like, oh, I roll over, I'll go on TikTok, I'll like check my text messages, go on TikTok, and then it's like 20 or 30 minutes and I've just been scrolling. What I really want to do is just that, like, so start off a section of the day by not using my phone. And I think hopefully that'll be like a good trend, or something like for me to work towards. And lastly, one thing that I want to leave in 2022, which I've already been starting and I just really want to really leave it behind, is expectations, I guess, in regards to everything. Like, I guess expectations in regard to what life looks like, and maybe what other people expect for your life to look like. Like, I'm 34 years old. I'm single, I like live by myself, I have a job that I like, that pays me really well, I am generally pretty happy with my life, but I feel like other people from the outside think I should be doing something else. Maybe like I should be married, I should have kids, I should be doing X, Y, or Z, and like for a while, or at some points, I would let that eat away at me. But this is my life, not yours, and I actually really like my life. So that's something I definitely want to leave behind. Like, I don't want to say considering other people's expectations. Actually, that's what it is. I just really want to leave behind other people's expectations. And what I want to bring into 2023, again, something I've kind of started, is just living life for me every day. Because like I said, I don't really have anyone besides my dog, many other people to consider in the day-to-day decisions that I make, and it may not be this way for forever. So I really want to take advantage of this time to, like, if I want to go on a trip, oh, okay, I'm gonna book this and go on a trip. If I want to do whatever it is this weekend, I'm gonna do whatever it is. I want to like start this YouTube channel, so I'm just gonna start it. If it's successful, it's successful, but like success means something different to everyone. To me, for my YouTube channel to be successful, it means that like I'm consistently posting videos. For someone else, it might mean having 50,000 subscribers. Like, everyone has different goals, and I think realizing that like goals that I have are mine and someone else's are theirs, if that makes sense, and kind of knowing like it's okay to have different goals than someone else, and then like what I have is fine. So that's really what I want to bring into 2023 in a big way. So that was a lot of information probably to take in, But those are my goals. Or I guess like goals aren't the right way. That's like, these are my outlooks for 2023 and things I want to leave behind in 2022. So I hope that you got to know a little bit more about me. I would love to know if anyone else has any big goals, or not even, like, I keep saying goals, but that's not really what they are. Just things that they want to bring into the new year and other things that they want to leave behind in 2022. I honestly could go on and on about a list of things I want to leave behind, but I tried to keep it concise and keep it positive with things that I want to bring into 2023. Again, thank you so much for listening. Hope that you'll subscribe if you enjoyed this video and be on the lookout for more content coming soon.